The next Smash Brothers game is bound to happen. I'm not talking about a measly Switch 2 upgrade that, slightly tweaks the graphics a little bit, adds like 1 or 2, 3 characters and then call it a day. No, I'm talking about a proper sequel to Smash Ultimate, a next step, just like Melee, just like Brawl, just like any other Smash game that came before. But any time of discussion that brings up anything to do with the next Smash Brothers game, there's always the thing about cutting the roster down. And to be honest, I don't think that's possible at all, even though I think it could happen. But the reason why this is probably unlikely is just one, a lot of complaints. There's bound to be complaints. Every Smash Brothers game before Ultimate obviously had the issue of, oh, my character's not in, oh, why isn't Roy in, why isn't Mewtwo in, why isn't this and that in, because, well, it's just how the game works, I guess, and also just showing off and marketing the new thing. Like, for example, Mewtwo got replaced with Lucario to obviously showcase Gen 4 and the next Pokemon game at the time. And a lot of other Pokemon probably would have been replaced when Smash Ultimate came out if it didn't have all the rosters or all the characters that came before. Like Incineroar would have probably replaced, I don't know, Lucario. There's no way that was going to replace Greninja. That guy is pretty much safe. They would have to go out of their way to express that this is a reboot of some kind, because otherwise no one would really buy that game. Well, not as much as they probably want it to be, because it doesn't have the characters that they want. And the thing is, Smash Ultimate keeps a lot of things fresh. The reason why I think we can still probably go a year or two without a new Smash Brothers game is because Ultimate is still fun. Any Smash Brothers game is still fun. But the thing is, with Ultimate, the roster that it has just makes it more exciting. The matchups you have to think about. Like, if you want to master, I don't know, for example, Byleth, you're gonna have to really factor in how other characters play. And that keeps it a little bit more fresh, new opponents, new playstyles and stuff like that with every character in the game. It just makes logical sense that they'll probably keep it. But at the same time, the workload would be kind of insane. This is still a fighting game, so they would have to actually balance this game. They can't have it like Smash 4 or maybe Brawl, where it's just one character that's just destroys all the other characters. Although I can't lie, Ultimate had that anyway, still technically does. It's just bound to happen. It is a fighting game at the end of the day, so I guess that doesn't really matter. Yeah, 89 characters? Yeah, that's definitely not fun to balance at all, because that's just total mayhem and absolutely a stressful job to do. But if that's the case, then we probably won't get as much characters to the next game, and that's the trade-off for this. If we get all the returning characters, we won't get as much characters this time around. I mean, most of them would probably be DLC, just like Smash Ultimate, but even worse. We might even get like only 3 characters, I'll be honest, if that. Like, again, if we're trying to keep all the characters, then yeah, that's probably going to happen, I think. Well, I'm not expecting, like 20 characters for the next match. That's just crazy. We'd have to do like crazy work, and not only that, we'd have to wait a really long time for that, so I just don't think that's going to happen at all. So again, there's a little bit obviously issues with keeping all characters, but then obviously who would they even keep if they had to cut the roster? That's the thing they would have to factorize. And then would we get DLC as returning characters? Do you know what? That's not even a bad idea when I think about it. Like, if you was to able to rework a character, send older characters, for example, from Brawl or Melee and stuff like that, and make them as DLC and fresh, or maybe even make them like, I don't know, different alts. Like, you can play as the old school version, or you can play as the new school version. I don't know, something weird like that. But again, that could be a potential idea, and I've been kind of off and on thinking about that actually, and I kind of forgot to make that as a note for this video. But yeah, I think that would maybe be the best option, because that balances out obviously having characters from some of the games, but also some that aren't obviously going to make it back, but be DLC but reworked to make them more fresh and different. I definitely got carried away with this one, because the whole video wasn't meant to be just about talking about the roster, but ended up being so, well, here we are at the end of the video. If you guys did enjoy this video, then definitely hit that like button and subscribe for more Nintendo content on the channel. This is The Void signing out, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. FYI, Toon Link is the best link, don't at me.